Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Breen. It is my privilege to serve as Fire Chief for the City of Marlborough. Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, Undersecretary Benincasa Thorpe, State Fire Marshal Ostrowski, legislators, city councilors, fellow fire chiefs, and fire officials. On behalf of Marlborough Mayor Arthur G. Vigent, I want to welcome you to Marlborough Fire Headquarters. We are delighted to host you all for this important announcement on the investment the Commonwealth is making to support and improve the health and safety of our firefighters. It's an honor to now introduce Governor Baker.
So good afternoon. Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for being here this morning. I want to start by congratulating the two members of the Senate behind me, Senator Feeney and Senator Tarr. They were the ones who incorporated into the budget $920,000 for gear and washer dryers in the Senate budget debate. And this is $500,000 in gear and $420,000 in dryers to almost 200 communities here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that we're announcing today. And I just have to start by saying that it's very hard, I think, sometimes for people to understand how the constant changing nature of fabric and material and construction materials affects the nature of what happens when something catches fire. The mixture of that high temperature and the combination of fabric material and chemicals creates, in many cases, some very dangerous circumstances for the men and women who fight fires. And one of the things that is proven true over the course of time is the significant risk that's associated with many forms of cancer that those who serve in the fire service have found themselves dealing with it. Now, I would say here in Massachusetts, we have done many things over the course of many years to enhance and improve the quality of the health care and the coverage and the support that we offer to firefighters who get sick as a result of their line of work. In many cases, we're way ahead of a lot of states on that. But I think one of the things we need to do a better job of, and this announcement today and the work that was done by the folks in the legislature illustrates this, is prevention. And that is why we're here to make this announcement today. It's why this has become such an important issue for the fire service here in Massachusetts and for the state legislature. And I would just add, we also have a general bond bill that's currently pending before the legislature that has $25 million in it to create matching grant programs for local communities to purchase and acquire additional sets of gear and washers and dryers. And that is, in many respects, one of the most critical and important elements of that bill. And I certainly hope that sometime between now and June 30th or July 31st, or whenever it is, you guys, where are you? Wherever you end your session, that particular piece of legislation makes it to our desk so we can sign it. We say it all the time, these folks run into burning buildings to rescue people, to preserve property, and to protect the public. It is incumbent on us, based on the knowledge that continues to be developed with respect to their risks that are associated with many forms of cancer, that we not only do the things we need to do to provide coverage and support to them and ensure that their medical care is paid for if they should get sick, we should be doing the things we need to do to prevent them from getting sick and to provide them with the tools and the equipment that's required to ensure that they don't. And today is a great statement on that. I want to give Senator Tarr in particular credit on this. He started talking to us about this a long time ago. But I also want to see that $25 million get passed at some point during this legislative session. Thank you very much. And with that, I want to turn the podium over to my co-conspirator here, Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito.
Good afternoon, and thank you for assembling this afternoon to recognize the fire service with the contribution toward your upgrades and updates to equipment. It's a simple gesture, but one that's very important and very meaningful. Obviously, we stand together with our colleagues in the legislature, our union leadership. I see Rep. Gentile here as well. Thank you for coming. And with our municipal leader in Mayor Vigent. This has been a tough month for the fire service. Being someone that is from central Massachusetts and my home area being Worcester, I think all of us have a heavy heart as we see the risks and the dangers associated with the jobs that you do. The jobs that you do are to save lives, to help other people, to protect them. And in the course of doing that, you put your own lives at risk. And one of the things that we can do is to make sure that you're well-trained and well-equipped and that you are taken care of after the fact, after a response, so that when you get back to your home here, you're ready to answer the next call. And equipment is an essential piece of that. And while over time that equipment has been perfected and new technology and techniques have been introduced, I think there's also a cultural change that we recognize. When speaking with Peter Ostrowski, he said he remembers not too long ago that the culture around the fire service was to have a sweaty, smoky smelling gear set, right? That was sort of like a badge of honor, that you went out there, you worked hard, you did your job, and this is the proof to show for it. But we all know that the exposure to what that equipment and you went through presents some real risks to your health. Not only physical, external risks with fire exposure and the toxins exposed to your external body, but also the internal ingestion of those toxins that can have an impact, maybe not realized in the near term, but could manifest later on in your life. And then, of course, the mental stresses that are associated with all of the work that you do are all areas that we together in municipal, state, legislative governance can do better for you. So today, these appear to be small dollars, but really important for you to take the steps to upgrade, to wash these materials. I love the fact that you have, for some of the rural communities, a regional approach to making sure that all municipal departments, no matter how big or small, have access to better equipment and also the ability to turn it over for the next time it's needed, which clearly is a time that comes in your lives in an unpredictable way. So I just want to say today, thank you so much for what you do. And I want to just say how this is one small gesture to acknowledge how important your jobs are and how important you are to us. So God bless you all. Be safe. I wish you the best of holidays with your families in the upcoming weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Polito. This program would not have been possible without the support of the state legislature. I want to recognize members of the legislature who are here with us today. Senator Bruce Tarr, Representative Carmen Gentile. Let me now introduce from the Joint Committee on Public Safety and Homeland Security, Senator Paul Feeney.
Well, thank you so much, and good afternoon, everybody. We have many thank yous to get through, and I certainly don't want to leave anybody out. First of all, Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, thank you for your commitment. I know it has been a primary goal of this administration, not only to promote public safety throughout our Commonwealth, but really to protect the men and women that put the uniform on every single day that we task with keeping us safe. So Governor Baker, Lieutenant Governor Polito, thank you for your commitment, not only to this program, but for all you do for our public safety and first responders throughout the Commonwealth. Fire Marshal Ostrowski, thank you for partnering with us in the legislature to make sure that any funding that we approved, any debate that we had a goal and a purpose, so that the practical application of that policy would be to benefit our firefighters throughout the Commonwealth. So to the Fire Marshal and his team, thank you so much for all that you do out at Stowe and for our firefighters across the state. To my colleague and friend, Senator Bruce Tarr, what can I say about Senator Tarr? I tell you, when you get into the legislature, there are a few people that you want to pay attention to, And Leader Tar has been that person for me as somebody who not only gets it, who not only wants to partner with legislators, whether they be new in the building or been around forever, but somebody who is a great advocate and certainly somebody who followed his lead in making sure that we're advocating effectively for our firefighters throughout the Commonwealth. State Representative Carmine Gentile, thank you so much for having us out here today and for your commitment and your vote and your support over the many years you've been in office. And finally, thank you as well to State Representative Linda Dean Campbell. State Representative Linda Dean Campbell couldn't be here today, but I will tell you that she has been an incredible champion and partner in this issue when we talk about gear extractors and drying cabinets for firehouses throughout the state. Representative Linda Dean Campbell, for those who don't know, actually brought the issue to me as I chaired a hearing a couple of years back. She sat alongside Kathy Crosby Bell, who many of you know, the mom of firefighter Kennedy, a Boston firefighter who tragically lost his life in a working fire. And it was the two of them that brought this issue and put it on my radar screen, and they have been great advocates ever since to see this through. To President Rich McKinnon, the professional firefighters of Massachusetts, and his team for elevating the voices of firefighters throughout the Commonwealth. Every single firefighter across this Commonwealth has a strong voice because of PFFM, Rich McKinnon, Billy Cabral, and their team. I want to thank them for working with us to see this through, to advocate, to knock on those doors, to make sure that the legislature adopted this, and to make sure that we are putting it to good use today. Too many times, we have had to lower the flags in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts because we lost a firefighter in a line of duty death. But what a lot of people don't understand is that there's a battle being fought by firefighters throughout the Commonwealth every single day that doesn't make the evening news. For those sick and suffering, dealing with cancer, occupational cancer in fire services is all too real. It knows no bounds. It's happened in every one of the 351 communities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Young firefighters, experienced firefighters, young and old. It knows no bounds, and we have to do what we can to make sure that we're protecting each of the firefighters that protect us. So to all the firefighters that elevated the voices of those that are suffering from cancer now, and to those joining the job, thank you. Thank you for what you've done to make sure that the legislature is responding to you. The firefighters in this state's commitment to our families is unconditional. In the legislature, in the administration, in state and local government, our commitment to each of you must be the same. So this will go a long way. I know, though significant, it's just a start. We are leading the way here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts in dealing with occupational cancer in the fire services because of the governor, lieutenant governor, and a strong union, strong mayors and city councilors and local officials that advocate for exactly what we're doing here today. So thank you all to the firefighters that are here. Be safe, strong work, good luck, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Feeney. And we would not be here today without the leadership of State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski.
On behalf of the Massachusetts Fire Service, thank you, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary Turco, and legislators for supporting this grant initiative. We want to recognize and thank the fire service leaders here today who advocated for these programs as well. Undersecretary Jean Benincasa Thorpe, Chief Newbury, representing the Fire Chiefs Association of Massachusetts, President Rich McKinnon from the Professional Firefighters of Massachusetts, joined with us at the Department of Fire Services upon receiving the opportunity to provide these grants with a Mass Calm Volunteer Firefighters Association representative to assemble a program that would touch as many fire service personnel as possible with the significant resources we received. Replacing old and damaged turnout gear is a financial challenge for most every department in the Commonwealth. These grant awards will ensure that a significant number of firefighters have access to hoods and gloves like these These will effectively protect them from exposure to dangerous contaminants, and that is one of the best things we can do for them to reduce the risk of future cancer diagnoses. A full set of turnout gear, like those displayed here, can cost between $2,500 and $3,000 or more per firefighter in each department. Each firefighter should have 2 sets of turnout gear so that when one is out of service for maintenance or repair, they have another one to continue with their duty. Turnout gear needs to be replaced every 10 years to make sure that it meets the rigors of the job and to make sure that it is compliant with the current standards. But gear or pieces like hoods and gloves that are used frequently may not last that long. These grants for extractors and for hoods and gloves will go a long way to further the protection of firefighters, and they're part of a comprehensive program of awareness and prevention that the fire service has embarked upon and that you've heard much about already. The Massachusetts Fire Academy offers a Taking Action Against Cancer in the Fire Service training so that firefighters can learn all about the actions they can take to prevent cancer. Actions such as cleaning the gear properly after a fire, having extra hoods and gloves, and a clean set of gear if possible for that next call after they've been to a significant incident. Our lead instructor is Fitchburg Captain Patrick Roy, a fierce advocate who lost his own father to occupational cancer. Patrick just received the Firefighter of the Year Norman Knight Award for community service for his work combating cancer in the fire service, and he and his teammates are making a difference every day through their effort. The Mass Fire Academy combines this training with free skin and oral cancer screenings. Dr. Christine Candler is here with us today, is a Mohs micrographic surgeon specializing in skin cancer at Northeast Dermatology Associates, and she donates her time, countless hours already, and continues to donate her time to perform skin cancer screenings as part of our program. She lost her brother to occupational cancer and is a powerful advocate for early detection. Thank you for being with us, Christine. Since August of 2018, Dr. Candler has screened over 1,300 individuals for skin cancer. She recommended follow-up for many people. Some have had biopsies, and in a few cases, skin cancer has been identified and treated. Awesome work, and an awesome tribute to your brother. Thank you. Lisa Evans, an oral hygienist and firefighter, provides oral cancer screenings as part of this program as well. Lisa is with us this morning. Lisa's another great member of our team who's out there every chance she gets, along with Dr. Candler. They're traipsing all over the state, touching every fire service person that they can to spread the important information and to make those early awareness and early diagnoses that are so important. And Abby Baker is our coordinator of the program from the Fire Academy. I'm honored to work alongside of these folks and so many who are working so hard and teamed with so many here to further our cause, to make sure that we properly equip, properly train, and properly support our fire service personnel, and do everything we can to attempt to address the cancer issue that we face every day. Thank you, Chief Breen and Mayor Vigent, for hosting today's event.
Thank you, Marshal. In closing, Marlborough Fire Department will act quickly, using these grants to purchase hoods and gloves. Here at MFD, we have instituted a 5-year plan to replace each firefighter's set of turnout gear so that our members will have a current set of gear for primary use and a second set to be used when their primary set is being cleaned and/or decontaminated. Our department currently has a washer extractor, but after recently hiring 11 new firefighters, we have increased capacity but have limited washing capability. A second washer extractor will ensure our members' protective clothing is cleaned in a timely manner and improve the health and safety of our personnel. Finally, I know that every fire chief in every community is grateful for these important grants, and we sincerely appreciate the support shown for our firefighters. Thank you all for coming today.